Well, good morning, Mambo. I'm still trying to figure this stupid gimbal out. I really don't like it, and it's too finicky, and so I'm gonna have to deal with it for a moment. So I am in, and I know I got to make a thumbnail for this, and I know the title is wrong and all that, but yeah, I'm out here at Fairview Park, and to show springtime in the park. That building right there, that is the oh, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, you can see there's a telescope right there. This is Millikin University. That's a sorority right there. But it's so bright. The guinea pig. Yeah, well, you're all guinea pigs for me, so. So yeah, this is it's a small college, but it's an expensive one at that. So, of course, the trees are still bare, and it's supposed to get 71 degrees Fahrenheit today. Everybody's out jogging, riding bikes, and walking. So I just seen Drew posted something for Patreon, so I don't know what time he's gonna go on. I don't know if it's tonight for us or he's doing a night thing. So but I'm here doing my thing, and I'll just have to catch the replay if he's on our morning. So, but I'm sure other people will pop in. I'm sure Debbie will pop in soon enough. She knows I'm out here doing this, and so I thought I'd come out here and check to see if anything's blooming yet. And of course, you can hear the robins singing up a storm. I don't know how to schedule stuff yet, because it's funny with Prism, and everything is so small on my phone. It's hard for me to set up a schedule for live streaming, so I just do it on a whim. And so yeah, so this is a lot of expensive homes, old homes out here by the park. And this house right here was owned by the Staleys, which Staleys is a company here in town. Well, it's not called Staleys anymore. It's Tate and Lyle. And a friend of mine has been in this house a long time ago, and he said there's a swimming pool in there somewhere, but it looks small on the outside, but I'm sure it's probably big on the inside. But all these houses, of course, were all built in the 1800s and stuff like that. So yeah, fun. So you see that big mansion right there. And in fact, I think before we go walk through the park, we'll kind of go walk through this neighborhood. You get a little extra treat. I'll show all the old houses that were built, because I think this area here was kind of built up first when Decatur was being built. Back in those days, the whole family lived together in these huge homes. And let's see if I can get this gimbal done right. So you can see it's a pretty big house. I'm sure it's nice on the inside. And we'll try to walk up one side and down the other. Hopefully other people will show up. Even if nobody would have showed up, I would have continued to film. So thank you for showing up. Of course, some houses are going to be a little smaller than others, but most of them are pretty huge and old. And of course, you got all these old bent up trees. I probably would have done like something like that. When that thing blooms out, it's going to be pretty, even though it looks like crap. But I think we'll have like purple flowers on it. But I had a teacher who lived on this street. I'm sure there was probably others, but their house had caught on fire and burnt down. It was down here, and I think they finally just tore it down. But and of course it's got the brick road like they had when they built these homes. And of course down here, the very last building is another sorority. There's like this, back in the 70s and 80s, it was kind of like a party school, and they did have a lot of sororities and fraternities, and they got rid of a lot of them. And there's probably more sororities than fraternities, but a lot of the things that they did knock down, they ended up building housing for the students instead of just having a frats or sororities. So yeah, but yeah, that house right there, that's a sorority. And this college is kind of like a well, in a way, a college, how would I say that? It's a religious college, I think, because they have to go to church here. Let's pan this down. Stupid thing. And they got the brick roads. If I can get this thing to work right. Now this one here, this is a fraternity here, and it had caught on fire, and some students did pass away from, oh, let me get it in here. They did, there's some students that did pass away from the smoke, and then they remodeled it. I don't know how many students live there now. But really, so far, no flowers are blooming yet. This bush is starting to get some stuff on it. But Decatur's an old city, and we used to have over 100,000 people, and it's dwindling down. People are moving not only out of this city, but they're moving out of the state, and there's really nothing here. And when you tell people you're from Illinois, the first thing that comes to their mind is Chicago. And most of Illinoisans don't even recognize Chicago because they kind of ruin it for the state. It's probably kind of like New York ruins it for their own state, because there's so much more to New York than New York City. A lot of the people that are riding bikes and jogging here, they all got yellow shirts on, so I don't know if there's something going on here today or what, but I wonder if this right there is where the pool is. But he told me there was a pool in there, so I don't know. I never been in there. And the kid that we know that was one of the Staleys, he had passed away. I don't know what he passed from, but and then there's a couple of big houses. There's a Staley mansion that people were living in it. They turned it into an apartment house, and I think after a while the family bought it all back and they remodeled it, and now it's a museum. And then of course out behind me there is a another mansion where some Staleys had lived. So yeah, they were one of the richest families here in town. Besides the ones that started ADM that's here, they were probably one of the richest ones. The Andreas. So here we go on our little walk excursion in the springtime in Fairview Park. All the trees still look dead. This tree right here, it's starting to bloom out a little bit, so it's showing some life. I was kind of hoping to find some wild lilies, or whatever you call those little yellow flowers you just kind of see in a bunch. So there's some flowers there growing in the grass. Well, my screen's so dirty that sun hits it, I can barely see. I thought I wiped it off, but I got my mask with me, and it's being used as a chin hammock right now, and until I get around a bunch of people. And I truly think a lot of people are just getting really sick and tired of what's going on. Humans can only take so much, and then they're just sick of it. So far, just a slow amount of life going on in the park. I mean, other than people walking around and stuff, but the plants are not growing yet. A little still too cold. I would say towards the middle of April, close to the middle of April. Morning. If I can get this thing to turn correctly. It's so finicky, and I don't mess around with this gimbal very much. So one of these days I'm gonna come over here and get on these little exercise things. These big giant massive trees here. This is the park where everybody used to come and do things at, and of course we have Nelson Park out by the lake. And here's let me pan down to this little plaque here if I can. Come on, Bimble. There we go. So, see, during the Civil War, Fairview Park was the place where the organization of all regiments in Macon County took place. Among these regiments were the 116th Illinois Infantry, organized by Colonel Tupper, and the 41st Illinois Infantry, organized by Colonel I.C. Poe. The 35th Illinois Infantry was organized and quartered here on October 6th and 7th, 1880. So, you know, this, like I said, this area was all built up in the early 1800s. So, well, good morning, Nancy. We're in Fairview Park, checking on to see if anything's growing for spring. And so far, there's a slight amount of buds growing on the trees. I haven't seen any flowers kind of growing up yet. The other day I was driving down the road and I seen some I guess they're like little yellow lilies or something. I don't know what they are. And that was the only ones I seen. I haven't seen any more. Yeah, sorry. Well, you know, I didn't want to be at home doing a live. In fact, what I wanted to do was go out by the airport, because out there they have a piece of land that they put all the old Lincoln stuff, and I wanted to see if I could go out there and film, but I think it's probably still too early. I'm probably only going to be on for about an hour, so you can stay if you want. I'm really surprised Debbie's not on here, but she's probably busy. She was asleep when I got up, and before I came out here she was up, and so I don't know. She was making the dogs breakfast. They must be having some kind of a race out here, because there's some people over here with a bunch of bikes. And I'm just glad there's more and more people coming out doing stuff. As you can see, the bikes right there. Must be some kind of like a, I don't want to say triathlon, because they don't swim, so they're biking and then they're running. So it must be some kind of organization here in town practicing for something. But they are going to be adding more of this area here towards Forsyth, Illinois, which is great, because they're going to finally connect it. And I got to get my bike fixed up. My son's got an extra bike we got in the shed. I may end up using that, but I want to go around and well, good morning, Lynn. And ride these trails and film them. And I tried to do that in the past, but I didn't get all, I don't think I got all the trails recorded. And this part is just in the main park. But so far, just a lot of naked trees and no flowers growing yet. I don't know if they have any wild flowers growing around here. I know down towards the end of this here walkway that I'm doing, they have an area where they grow roses and a few other flowers, but I'm sure they're not going to be bloomed out yet. It's too cold. It's supposed to be 71 today, and I think right now it's about the early 50s, and I'm sure the feel temperature is about 46, I think is what it said. We'll walk up this way so you can. Now this here, they call this Dreamland Lake, and back in the day when it used to get really cold here, like Canada cold, this lake would freeze, and there used to be a bridge that went over the center of it, and but they used to ice skate out here. But you know, we don't get that much cold weather, well, really cold weather anymore. So so we just don't do it anymore. So, but now they're trying to fix up the other park and get everybody to go out there. Yeah. Well, Debbie, I figured you was going to show up. I just didn't know when. You were probably getting your breakfast and the dog's breakfast, but these trees, they have and I had said it before, but I couldn't find one. They let you know what kind of a tree it is. So that's what kind of tree this is. So those are all over on certain trees. They'll let you know what they are. A lot of these trees, they really do need to cut them down. They're dying out. I think I got mud all over my shoes. It's pretty muddy in the grass. But I've biked all these trails, and doing all the trails from one end to the other and back. It's a little over 20 miles. Now I'm doing what Drew did yesterday, is charging my phone off my gimbal. But what I need to do is keep an eye on mine, or it's going to end up like doing his, and like it did to me before, and drain the battery to the gimbal, and then the gimbal's going to go haywire. But I brought my other charger, so here's my charger here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. Hopefully that will help me out and won't drain everything too quick. Plus I'll try to walk a little faster, so yeah. But earlier, when you guys weren't here, you kind of missed a little bit of a bonus scene. I walked down one of the streets over here where we have old houses, like mansions that they built in the early 1800s, and you'll just have to watch the replay and check those out. But so far, like I said, no signs of flowers yet, because it's still a little too cold. And once we start hitting in those upper 60s and 70s temperatures, then the flowers will start growing. And of course, they're saying that this year is going to be a year of tornadoes, so I hope not. So I'll come over here to this area over here where I was talking about, where all these flowers are all bloomed up in the summertime. I can get this thing working properly. So I imagine once they get over here, see, they're starting to grow up out of the ground, And I imagine those are probably tulips right there. But they got to rake all that out, and then I think those might be roses there. I'm not sure. But yeah, they'll come over here and they'll clean this up. It's all in different little... I hope they make it prettier this year, because they haven't been doing too much. Let's see what it says. Yeah, they... So they, yeah, the Stephen Decatur Memorial Rose Garden, 1959. So there you go. Oh, I can't believe they, well, they put a new sign up. I've never seen this sign before. And they recognized the Bikini Tree in it, which really surprised me. People sneak over here in the middle of the night and they repaint it. We'll go down there. But yeah, that's a new sign right there. And so yeah, it gives you a little... But we're gonna walk this trail over here so you can kind of see this trail instead of walking down that road. I got the sun to my back, so I gotta... Yeah, I'll be back out here again in a couple of months. And of course in the summertime I hang out a lot in this park, or I try to anyway. It would be nice if they would come out here and take better care of these trails. A lot of them need to be redone, and they need to sweep them off. There's twigs everywhere, and they get used quite a bit. Probably more people walking and running than using their bike, because it's a bike trail. So yeah, Debbie loves tulips. That's one of her favorite flowers. Oh, here's those things. So pan down here. You can read this thing. I'll get the sun off of it. So they put this out here, and then here's those other things. Those are going to be blooming out soon. So So before they put this trail in here, or the asphalt, this used to be just like a rocky trail, and I used to go this way a lot when the swimming pool was back here. Well, I mean, it's still back this way, but they closed it down because they built that new one out there in the other park. And I really hope this setup that I got going works right, but I'll have my phone draining off of both things, and I'll lose signal for everything. But I'm gonna walk a little faster And I know there's nothing great to see on this trail, but we'll get there. And the one thing I don't like about when people do walk on this trail is when you have like 2 or 3 or more people together, they think they got to spread out throughout the one side to the other when they walk. And so then when you're on a bike, you're pretty much telling on your left, and then they got to move over, and they get mad. And it's like, you know what? It's a two-way street. Well, that's good. I'm glad it is. Of course, I am close to a tower, and I'm not too far from my house, so it's wonderful. Morning. And kind of give you an idea how high up we are. Yeah, look at that. That's got to be a good, oh, I don't know. And I got my, here, I'll turn this camera around. So I got my cold pack on because I am in a lot of pain. It's kind of, I put icy hot on and I got this cold pack on, and it's helping out a little bit, because before I came here I was in excruciating pain and I thought, man, I cannot do this. So we'll turn this thing back around. There we go. But I'm not a fan of this Vimble, and I don't know, then maybe in the future I'll buy, see if it's any better. But I do have, let's see, 2 videos coming soon. I got another coffee in the review coming up. I got a film today, and I've had this product for probably about a week. I've never seen it before, and I'm not even sure how to even do it. When you see the video, you'll understand why I'm not sure how to do it, but I'll do my best. And then I got another one for the John McKee's World, and into a food review channel, so I just don't know what else to do. That's why I said it's a hodgepodge of things. So you hear the birds singing. I hope you can hear the birds singing. So we're in the west end of Decatur. Over here in the west end, they're all like expensive homes, and on this trail there's a house next to it where they have a swimming pool in their backyard, and they have the neighbors around them pay a fee, and they can come over and swim in their pool. And you know, they got to help keep it clean and maintained and all that, and they pay their fee, and so on and so forth. That way you don't have to go run off to a public pool or whatever. You can, in fact, it's right here is where this pool is. So yeah, it's right there is where that pool is. And so people would come over here and swim that live in the neighborhood, and There's a little kid on a bicycle. He scared the crap out of me. So well, we're getting close to the Bikini Tree, and got to get around this bend to another bridge. Now that little boy's got to be at least, I don't know, 3-4 years old, and unsupervised out here on this trail. So you know what that can matter to. I know me and Debbie wouldn't allowed our boys to do that. Yeah, I want to see leaves on the trees too. Yeah, see, some of these trees, they're showing some life of some stuff growing on there. There's some stuff growing right there, and of course that's all dead up there, but wow. I got a few trees to cut in mine. That one in my backyard, I had a guy wanted to cut it down for $200, but I told my wife, I said, no, I'm not gonna have somebody who's not bonded and insured come and cut that tree down. He gets hurt, sues me, and then my insurance company won't pay, and then how am I supposed to pay the guy? And so I told her, I said, no, I'm not going to go with that. So I'll get it cut down eventually. It's just going to take time. I'm worried more about my roof. My roof needs to be replaced. So we just had rain a couple days ago and it was leaking. So here's I don't know if you can see that. You might hear it. Here, the creek down there. You know, when I first started live streaming, I used to get about at least 15 people on my live stream, and that's only because I was on at 2:30 in the morning. So my Filipino watchers were able to watch, but it just got too much for me, so I had to start doing it around 10 o'clock in the morning here. So, and now it's real late there, so a lot of them don't watch anymore. Or, of course, some of them are not even in their own country. They're in Hong Kong, or they're in Qatar, or so. Just since we get on the other side of this here bridge, we will get to the Bikini Tree that gets painted all the time. Of course, if I had the money to buy that land next door to me, I'd have every tree. And that right up there is where the swimming pool is that they closed down, which I think is a load of crap. They can have that one open plus the one in Nelson Park, but they don't see it that way. So apparently this trail here, we're at the park run 1 mile. So apparently we walked 1 mile. And it winds off down here. So we're getting ready to head down here to the Bikini Tree. Oh, they repainted it. Cool. So folks, There's the Bikini Tree right there. I don't know if you could see it. We'll walk down here, check it out. Creek's moving pretty fast and up a little bit. So there's what they painted it this time. They even put a mask on it. That's pretty cool. I love it. So there you go. There's the Bikini Tree. So people come down here and they paint this. It's on a constant painting, so it's always different. Walk along the creek here. Well, hello, Drew. Welcome to my live stream. I hope you got to see the Bikini Tree back there. I know it's early in the morning where you're at, and we're just here in Fairview Park checking to see if anything's blooming. And really, so far, nothing is, so because it's still a little too cold. Hello, Night Riders gal. Oh, have you? Well, good. I seen your notification popped up, but I that's when I just started. And I didn't get a chance to read it, so when I'm done here I'll check it out. I'm sure it's for my night and your day. But I will continue on. In fact, I'm doing the same thing that you did, where you're charging up your phone on your gimbal, and I got my gimbal on my charger all at the same time. And hopefully everything will work out. As long as I get me an hour in, I'm good. So I don't really care if it dies after an hour. I've been on here, what, 43 minutes. So it's all good. And the funny thing is I got in the settings on this application, because now they let you choose your color for the chat, and I chose orange, and for some reason I saved it, and for some reason it's not working, so kind of pisses me off. I'll have to go through it some more. And I haven't been live streaming, as you can see, and I haven't been using my gimbal, and I've been working a lot. I was supposed to work today, but they decided to run today, so I couldn't go do what I needed to do, because when I do drywall work I cannot do it when they're making products. So maybe next weekend, because they're supposed to start working every other weekend. They chose the weekend I was going to work, so I said, well, fine, I'll just do my live stream instead. We'll get that done and over with. But hopefully soon I can go out by the airport and film all those things from the Lincoln era. And they put his log cabin courthouse out there, because it used to be in this park, and people were vandalizing it, so they stuck it out there with the rest of the stuff to preserve it. Okay, have a good night. Hope she gets better. I'm sure she will. Thanks for showing up anyway, though. So this time, I think when I was doing a live stream, I stopped up here by this bridge. So I'm going to go a little further and see how good of a signal I get. And I'm going to try and go as far as I can before I lose a signal, because I know way out here I tried to film at Rock Springs Center, and it's kind of like out in the country, so I couldn't get a really good symbol. So yeah, I didn't live stream out there very long because of the signal. So, and if you don't recognize this area, then you need to go back and look at my videos, because I was driving on this road right here. And this road will take you to one of the other buildings that I repair. So that's our distribution building that's way out here. So I'm gonna stop at this bridge. There's a lot of bridges out here. I wish they'd do something with this area out here, so, but, oh, let me get it down here. This thing's acting funny. So yeah, there you go. That's how fast that water's moving. Pretty cool, isn't it? But just like Drew says, when it's bright out here, I can't see what you guys are saying, so I got to put my, well, let me get this thing set right. Okay. Yeah, I took a lot of photos out here in the past because I have like a faux band. It's just basically, it's called, now if I can remember what it's called. Well, darn it, I haven't done it in so long. Okay, let me get this thing right here. There we go. Trying not to film people when they come up on me. This used to be all graffitied up, and as you can see, they repainted it. But this trail that I'm on, it's probably the longest trail out here, because this will take you out to Rock Springs. But it is a lot better out here when there's leaves on the trees. One day I was walking out here, or was I on my bike, and there was a mess load of deer on the side of the trail, and they just kind of looked up at me, and I'm looking at them, and they didn't move, and I just kept going. I'm glad I got this thing on my shoulder. Here, I'm gonna flip this camera again. Oh, this stupid thing. Here we go. So, hi everybody. Here's my cold pack on my shoulder, and I'm still in pain, just not as much as I was earlier. And I put some icy hot on and got this thing on, and so yeah. Now if I can get this back. There we go. Well, it branches off, so I'm going to get to a branch of it here soon. Back in the park, it branched off another way, so, but I didn't take you in that direction to show you where that branched off. Boy, they redid this. That's nice. This thing was falling apart. Oh, let me get this down here. This thing was falling apart, and they redid it. And so yeah, I really wish they would do something with that stuff out there, but you know, they probably won't. But this will take you, like I said, to Rock Springs Center, and it branches off up here around the bend, which takes you to Kiwanis Park in the West End. One day I was riding out here on my bike, and it was like the middle of the summertime, and there's a section way out there that you're just basically surrounded in nothing, and it's spooky if you're by yourself. Out of those trees. Now I've heard reports that people have seen well, one person tried to, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I got to get my bike going. I want to get a road bike. I miss my old Schwinn 10-speed. I loved that bike, and then I ended up selling it. I went everywhere on that bike. Before me and Debbie got married, I didn't want a car. I didn't want to deal with a car. I couldn't afford a car. And so I rode a bike everywhere, and I was very content with that. But you know, when you get with someone and you can't put them on the back of your bike, so you got to kind of grow up a bit and get a car. But 53 minutes, boy, it's almost been an hour. So here we're coming up to, you go that direction. We're going to go that direction, because that will take you to Kiwanis Park. It also will take you to, well, what I call the shit factory, but sort of sanitation department. Certain times of the day or week or whatever, we call a smell out here the West End stink, which is basically the sanitation department smell. So this smells like a sewer out here. And when it rains hard and long, this whole area will flood. I'll take you up here to this sign, kind of give you an idea. And you can hear the tree frogs. We hear these all around my house because I'm kind of on the edge of town. So you are, let's see here, let me get this set right. You are here. So if we kept walking, we would walk all around this, and yeah, Rock Springs is all out in here. So, but we are going to go, if I find my finger here, we're going to go this way. So we're going to turn. Matter of fact, I took a picture of this and used it for a faux record album, because we did a song in my first band called Road to Nowhere, and I used this as the album cover, Road to Nowhere. Be still strong because walking, your steps in, you're gonna, which I need to start doing all that this year, or more healthy this year. So this area that we're prairie grass is, this whole field grass. I think it does turn. They come out here. They used to. I know they springs. They burn it. There's apartments right there. Let's see if I can see it. That was one of my first apartments. Like that building right there was my first place I ever lived when I was 18 years old. I moved in there, and I think I was in there for maybe no more than 3 months, and then ended up moving back home. But anyway, here's the plantation districts right out there. It sounds like you guys talking about trees is more fun than what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Of course, you get out here in this tall grass in the summertime, you got to kind of watch for snakes. Yeah, they probably started early in the morning to get it done as quick as possible, because I'm sure it would take about a half a day, depending on how big the tree is and how many they're taking down. I'm sure to do mine would be probably a couple of hours. It's not a very big tree. I'm only worried about one part of it, and it's the one that's gonna, I hope, excuse me for sniffing snow so much, but it'd fall on my house if it fell. So it just knocked my awning down, could bust my window, and depending on how the awning's attached, it could pull the side of my house off my house. So that's all I'm worried about. Well, hello J-Vlog. Welcome to a walking around the park looking for a sign of life of spring, and I see none, except for still everything dead. Of course, I got the sun in my eyes. I got my phone charging on my gimbal charging on my charger, all at the same time, and we'll see how long I could do that before it all goes nuts. And then I'll have to say adios to everybody. Well, I put some icy hot on, and I got my good for now. I was in a lot of pain earlier, so yeah, we've got some nice places around here. Maybe one day I'll go back out to the Nelson Park and see if I can film out there again, live stream. And they're actually, I read that they're going to do a beer tasting or a craft beer show out there at the Devon Amphitheater. So I'm sure it's going to cost to do it. I'll have to find out what the cost is and see if it's okay if I film out there, and we'll do a craft beer live stream. So yeah, there's your sanitation department where all your poop and everything goes, and what they do with it. I hope the wind's not too much into the. It got windy right here all of a sudden. Let me jog a little bit, get out of this wind. I'm sure it's probably noisy. So we're quite a ways, and I'll try to walk this entire part of the trail, and then maybe we'll just end it from there at the end of that trail, this trail. And because I do have a lot of things to do today. Me and Debbie's got to go to the store, and I got laundry to do, and I want to clean the carpet in my bedroom. I'm taking everything out of that cleaning, making sure I don't have any spiders inundated with spiders and bugs. We were really bad with tiny ants and I heard to get rid of those lady like, and that will kill them. I've not done that yet with Dawn soap. Just under, and they feed, excuse me, and I did have a, but it came back all because of them stupid ladybugs. But you know, we got all, so you know. Waka Kagatage, he's doing really well. He started out pretty crappy, and he's really showing some potential during this tournament. I'm really happy for him. Of course, on no show, I don't think he has his heart in on it, and I just don't think he's going to win any more matches for the rest of the season. You can smell that pine. There's a big old pine tree right here. You can just smell that pine. So this here, if I can pan over right, yep, go up, John. This is Kiwanis Park, and me and Debbie both used to live in the West End. Of course, like I showed you over here where these apartments are is where I lived, and then she lived over by a grade school over here. So there was a guy who was holding reunions over here in this little park for all the people who live and had lived in this area. And I've been to, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them, and they have you sign this this board and all that stuff, and you could buy t-shirts if you want, but it was like, I think he did it every other year. But we haven't been to one for probably 4 years maybe now. And so yeah. How long have I been on? Been over an hour, but that's okay. Because I just wanted to show you guys this trail. And then when I'm done with this trail, I'll sign off and everybody can go on their merry way and do what they need to do today. So this area of town, of course, like I said, they have all the really nice homes over here. And you have some of your doctors and your lawyers that live over here, and probably some executives. Some of them are kind of simple homes. Some of them are really, really, really nice. And we were looking at houses over here, but we looked at one that was kind of old. I imagine it was built, early or just creaked, and I said nope. Even if you were trying to sneak, you weren't going to sneak, and it was too small anyway. So I told her, no, I don't want this. And but they used to have for people to do. They used to have a really tall slide, and that was the name of Metal Slide. That was the name of my faux group. It was just me, and I thought that would have been, but you know, people think, oh well, you play heavy metal. No, it wasn't heavy metal, it was more of a bluegrass at the time. So you got a name called Metal Slide, and they're going to think you play metal. But no, I was heavy into bluegrass at the time. But there are some bluegrass groups out there that kind of cover metal songs playing in bluegrass. So but you know, it's just small little simple stuff here, more for like little kids, and not that adults need to be doing that, but and I hope the wind is, I'm hoping it's not. Let me know if we got a lot of wind noise. My hand's starting to hurt holding that thing. I had to switch hands. Yeah, a guy that I used to work with, that house right there, he used to live there. He was like head of the parks, of the maintenance part of the parks, and he got to live in that house free of charge while he worked for them. And he worked with them for several years, and of course now he's collecting the pension. And his wife had passed away a year ago, and then he started having health issues, and he's only 58 years old, and he has been gone from where I am, his job, and that's how they got rid of him, because he was gone on medical leave. So, but yeah, there's some really, you know, some of these houses like that was probably built in the late 60s, early 70s. Back in the 80s, before this was all built. Now this is all new. They redid all this. And we used to sneak back here, and I'll show you where, well, teenagers still do it today. I think it's all owned by the sanitation district. But we used to go up on this here wasn't there, that fencing, and we used to climb up there and walk around on all that. And yeah, I've seen teenagers out there today still doing that. Yeah, I think we're going to be inundated with a lot more tree frogs this year. So I can hear them. I don't know if you guys can hear the tree frogs. And of course this area, and it's like being in a sci-fi movie. I have had a couple of those on the side of my house. They are a little tiny. You never see them, but yeah, they're a little tiny, but they're noisy. But there's bullfrogs out here too. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear them bullfrogs out here too. Actually, there's ducks out here. There's some ducks right out there. That's what I'm hearing. Wow, it's really noisy right here. There's those. It would suck to live over here. Hear this all the time. It's bad enough where I'm at. And of course, I don't know if you could see it. I don't know what this was used for. And then of course you can see more river out here. Did this one. This one got really bad. And back there by the Bikini Tree, they need to do that one too, because that one's getting really bad as well. I come out here again, I'll take you on a different trail that goes back north. And this is the west trail. And there was one that goes north, and then there's one that goes well, the other one goes west as well, but this is more like a southwest trail here. But yeah, it's warming up, and it's got to be in the 60s now, because it's quite a lot warmer than it was when I started. Now you probably still got snow up there. I wouldn't be surprised. We really don't get a lot of snow like we used to when we did have that big snowstorm. Actually, the one that happened on my birthday, I figured that was about the only one that we'd have, and then we had that one right after that, and then that was the last like we used to. Went all collywampus on me. There, so we're going to be ending this live stream soon. It's probably going to do that again. What I get. Feeling it was going to happen. Let's see where I'm at. An hour and 15 minutes. I made it that far. But see, the funny thing is, Vimble is supposed to be 15 hours. I guess that's for not charging any. Connection is unstable, so I'm going to stop right up here and the live stream. So I die. There we go. So yeah, whoop, let me get me down here. So there you go, there's my thing I got on my shoulder, and the wind's kicking up, and so yeah, thanks everybody for showing up, and yeah, an hour and 17 minutes. So yeah, now I got a long way back. Actually, I can just walk through the neighborhood and it'd be a lot quicker than taking that big trail again. So this lives right up here, but I'm not going to stop at his house, so I'm sure he's probably still in bed asleep. It's only 10:53 in the morning, so yeah. So everybody, thank you for coming, and be watching for those 2 videos that I got coming soon. One would be for the coffee review, and then one is another review for my regular channel. And coffee review one will be an experience because it's something I've never seen before, and I don't know how to try. Until next time, we'll see you.